Hello, welcome to this video. Ladies out there, ladies that are watching, this video's for you. I'm making a video for the ladies. Put down your knitting, ladies. You know, all that sort of lace stuff you're working on. You put that down. Right, I'm talking to you. I know you have to sit there while your husband watches me witter on about the Mahavishnu Orchestra or some obscure European prog band. But I'm talking to you ladies right now. I'm going to make a video for the ladies, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my superiorometer and I'm going to do something that I think the ladies will be interested in. Now, of course, nobody will watch this video because if you go to my channel analytics and look, 99.7% of the people who watch this are male, right? That means the only women that watch this are people who have accidentally wandered onto my channel and then been horrified while I witter on about some unimportant band in front of a bunch of vinyl albums. This is like the worst, it's like most male, dull male thing. You know, this is the dull middle-aged male channel, ladies, and you know it if your husband's watching it, you know it. But I thought I've got to do something for the ladies. I've got to do something for the ladies. Now, what do the ladies like? See, you know, I'm a 50-year-old man, so I've had some experience of ladies over time, and I think they like cats, don't they? Kittens, they like puppies, they like dogs. So I thought I could use my superiorometer to see what are the best. Which one's the best, cats or dogs? It's cats versus dogs today. I'm not talking about music. No one's going to watch this video. I thought the other day, what could I pit my superiorometer next? What are the great battles that exist? You know, you've got the Beatles versus the Stones, you know, and you know, you've got like oh, I've got to say that. I won't say that's too naughty to say that. You've got all these things. But the great battle that has existed through the history of us humans has been the battle embodied by Tom and Jerry, the battle between the cat and the dog. Which one's the best out of them? Ladies, I know you're interested. I know feminism is telling you shouldn't be interested in this. You're sat there going, no, but why is he being so patronising to us? A typical man, here he is, typical man. You know, but I would like to know which one wins out of the cats and the dogs. Of course, there's people who say that the whole world is divided into cat people and dog people, right? So, in a way, if the superiorometer comes up with a result, we will be able to see whether the cat people are better than the dog people. This is really important. And if you sat there and you're a music fan and you feel like I have betrayed you, at the end of this video, I'm going to go through the 5 greatest songs about cats and the 5 greatest songs about dogs. Completely objective. They're not just my songs that I thought and I like. It's not that at all. It's the objective list. And so you music fans, you're going to have to sit through now my assessment using the superiorometer to find out what are the best out of cats and dogs. I've got 10 parameters that I have put into the superiorometer. It's over there. I'm pointing to it now. It's over there, ready to go. The parameters are in there. We just got to load it up and get it ready to go. So superiorometer, are you ready to find out what's the best out of cats and dogs? Make your noise. There we go. Cats, dogs, who's the best? Let's start off, shall we? I've got a hat to wear on this one. Right. So, number 1, what's the first parameter? Well, with pets. Now, before I get into this, I think I need to explain the history of pets, cats and dogs, right? We have to look at the inherent reason for them being so different and so opposites. They're the antithesis of each other. Why is that? Well, humans have had dogs for a long, long time. Right back when we were like hunter-gatherers, we were out there, we'd catch our big woolly mammoth, wouldn't we? We'd get our woolly mammoth and we'd go home. Now, the one thing about woolly mammoth is when you've eaten your woolly mammoth, there's some incredible bones there. We know dogs like bones, right? Don't we? We know they like the bones. So you've finished it and then you throw your bones out. You don't want these horrible, bones lying around. So you throw them out of your cave or throw them out of your sort of little village. And then the wolves come along. Now, the wolves are aggressive pack animals. Here they go. A wolf is cool. A wolf is cool, right? But so your wolf, let's have a picture of a wolf right now. Look at that beautiful wolf. That's a noble creature, isn't it? And these are pack animals. They work together. That could kill you. These are forest dwellers. These are going to come at you in the night. You know, they represent the night. They represent stealth and cunning. You know, and the wolf comes up and they say to themselves, "Look at those human beings over there. They're chucking their bones out. Shall we nab the bones?" So they go and nab the bones, and the humans go, "Oh my God, the wolves are coming!" And they all hide away and they take the bones away. Right, and then the next day the wolf goes, "Shall we go back and check if there's some bones?" So this becomes a regular thing. So now the wolves are outside. Now, say somebody from another cave comes along and it's trying to nick a bit of maybe the woolly mammoth or maybe even the women. You know, they've come to do that, and as they step towards it, the wolves go, "Arr!" And the people, "Oh my God, the wolf saved us then." And so what happens then is these people go out and they try and find a friendly wolf. That one seems a little bit more friendly. They make friends with it, right? And before they know it, the wolves have turned into this. Right? That's what happened to dogs. You know, and you know why that is? Because they were pack animals. And the friendly ones assumed that we were a pack animal. But before they knew it, they got duped into this. Right? That's what happened for the dog. Cat's a different thing. Right? Cats are solitary predators. They're like little tigers. They're like solitary predators. They're crawling around, right? Now, a lot of people think that we have pet cats because of the Egyptians. That's not true. But the cat that we have really does go back to a Middle Eastern cat. And back then, people would have stores of food. This is a little bit later than we made friends with the dogs. And they would stick whatever they had out, you know, and it attracts mice. You know, I've got some mice around in my garden out here. They keep coming in because I've got rabbits. So the mice come out. And so the cat integrates itself into human beings, not to have the scrap bones, then sit back being part of the pack and going, you know, "I'm part of your group now." The cat's not like that. The cat was integrated into humanity because its ability to carry on doing what it did already, which would be a solitary predator. You didn't think it was going to have this good information in it, did you? You didn't think this video was going to be this good. But, you know, I hope I've told you a few facts you didn't know about the cat. That's how they go. So they remain being solitary predators. They can still go out at night and go off and do their own thing. They haven't changed. The cats are sat there going, yeah, you know. So if the cat doesn't end up like this. Right, so shall we start on my parameters? 10 parameters. It's going to be a long video, this is. This is well worth an hour of your time, this one is. Ready, go. I'm doing a lot of finger clicking today. You know, since I found the magical ability to produce images out of the air, like this, or maybe this, or even this, I can't stop using it. I'm going to have to stop using it, aren't I? I've got to stop using that. So the first parameter is cuteness. So which is the most cute out of dogs and cats? Well, the superiorometer is telling me. Superiorometer, right? It's give me a result there. This isn't me. This is the superiorometer. Give me the objective result. So, oh yeah. So looking at the superiorometer, what we've got is it's saying that dogs and cats are the same cuteness, which I think is the case, isn't it? Kittens are cute, but puppies are cute, and cats are cute. But the thing about dogs is there's a lot of dogs that aren't as cute as most cats. Loads of them. But dogs are bred, and specific dogs have been bred just to be cute. And those cute specialists, which is the way I would describe them, whereas you might have a dog that looks like this, then the cute specialist dogs come in looking like this. And that counteracts all the cats that just basically look like this. Okay, so even Steven so far. The next parameter is intelligence. Right, now you're probably expecting the superiorometer here to say that dogs are more intelligent than cats. I don't think they are. The cat is more intelligent than the dog. Now, any of you watching this video goes, oh, now this video's gone off the... Hear me through, right? Hear me through. As I explained, when the dogs approached human beings, we ended up doing all sorts of horrible things to them. You know, we have taken the noble wolf and turned it into a denigrated figure of fun. Right? That's what we've done with dogs. But cats have been able to retain. Now, I'm going to introduce you to I have a cat and a dog, so I've got equal skin in the game. Is that the phrase? Skin in the game? Anyway, so I don't know where I am with this one. So I have a dog called Mojo, and he looks like this. And I have a cat called Lola, and she looks like this. Right? Now, in preparing for this video, I thought I'll go and see what Lola's doing and take a photograph. So at the moment, Lola, just before I shot this video, was doing this. Right? Now look at that. Right? I slave, working, providing a home for my family, making sure I go through all sorts of stress. And we're all stressed out. Life is hard. Right? The only thing that seems to be really benefiting from all the stuff that I do is my cat. Look at her. That is what she does all day long. And people say dogs are cleverer than cats. My dog is sat there just wishing for sausages and to go for a walk so he can sniff. That's all he wants to do. He's never happy. He's as unhappy as I am and all the other human beings are. In becoming part of the human pack, it's taken on all these wants. All the dog wants is to do stuff all the time until they get too old to do anything. They are like little human beings. And because they're like human beings, we think they're cleverer. But they're not. The cats are cleverer. Think what they do. Whatever they bloody want, that's what cats do. So the score for that number 2 parameter, which is intelligence, goes to the cats. Number 3 is loyalty. If you've got a pet, you want one to be loyal to you. You know, it's like, say you are off walking out and you've got your cat and your dog with you, and you slip and you fall off the side of a cliff, but you don't fall all the way and die. You're holding on. You're holding on. Now, what's the cat going to do? Nothing. The cat's just going to start cleaning itself, rub itself up against something, and then bugger off. The dog is going to be upset, and it's going to do everything it possibly can to save you. Right? It might try and grab, if it's a big strong dog, it might grab you by and pull you over, you know, like something like that. But it's probably going to go and run and get help. That's what my dog would do for me. He'd run and get help. You know, and he would find somebody else and he'd go, which is dog for come here, my master is in trouble. You know. Now, the other thing about cat is, if you are an old person and you buy a cat for company, that cat will just be a pain in the arse for you. As you get old, all you're going to be doing is letting it out, letting it feed it, letting it out, letting it feed it, you know. That's all you're going to do. I can tell that because that's the experience of my mom, who is old, and her cat. Now, if you're old and lonely, I hate to say this, and you end up pegging it. So you end up pegging it and your cat's locked in with you. Right? What's that cat going to do to stay alive? That's a cat. They're not loyal. So the point for that one goes to the dog. Right, next one on the list is hygiene. Right, animals are dirty creatures. They're not like human beings, right? Now, dogs are dirty. I've seen my dog do some dirty things, and I've seen my cats do some dirty things. But it's my completely subjective opinion that the cat is more cleaner than the dog. I can't say what it is, I just feel that that's the case. The cat seems to keep itself cleaner than the dog. It's cleaning itself all day long. And when it goes out to the toilet, it finds a spot and it buries its doings. You don't have to worry about the cat. With the dog, it's not like that. And the dog seems to... Whereas the cat is indifferent to dirtiness, the dog seems to revel in dirtiness. Dogs seem to really enjoy dirtiness as a sort of raison d'etre. And so I feel that in terms of cleanliness and hygiene, I know that if I had to have one of them sleep in bed with me under the covers, I think it would have to be the cat, because that cat's cleaner. I just feel that, you know, if I had to kiss one on the lips, I'd kiss the cat on the lips. Fishy as that experience might be, I wouldn't want to kiss the dog on the lips. God, am I really doing this video? Right, so that's number 4. So that point goes to the cats, doesn't it? What's the next one on the list? Oh, employability. Right, the ability to do jobs. Okay? The cat, as I have explained, is just on one big holiday the whole time. Isn't it? The cat is just... It's hit the jackpot, hasn't it, the cat? But they do nothing. They contribute nothing. But dogs can do all sorts of stuff. They can show blind people around. They can rescue you and have a barrel, you know, the St. Bernard with that little barrel of brandy round its neck. Think about it. You know, you get stuck in the snow and there's a dog whose job is to come and find you, and he's all been bred, so he's all big and furry, and he's got big paws to dig you out, and then when he finds you, he's going to give you some brandy to drink. Can you imagine a cat giving you brandy? No cat's going to give you brandy. Dogs can do all sorts of stuff. So they can sniff out drug dealers. What do dogs do? All sorts of insane things. Right? They can do tricks. They can just do all sorts of things. Dogs. I cannot get my head around, you know, all the jobs that dogs do. And not only that, we can breed dogs. Right? This insane, you know, canine eugenics that human beings have invented, where we can say, let's have a dog that can, you know, that is psychic, you know, and that can read your mind, or let's have a dog that has got like laser eyes. You know, we can breed these dogs to do all sorts of incredible things, and they have done. You know, every type of hunting we want to do. We've got dogs that will be able to retrieve animals from the forest. We've got dogs that can retrieve it from the water. You know, that can pick up some, you know, bird that you've just shot with your bow and arrow and carry it and not eat it. Right? Dogs love meat. My dog loves meat. I'm pretty sure my dog's main thinking all the time is about meat. He goes meat crazy. He's a nice little dog, but he goes psychotic. If meat's involved, he goes psychotic. And yet, we have animals that can go and pick up what is the effects of meat, like a bird or something, and carry it, it's about not bite, and give it to the master, and then sit there going, oh, that's really brilliant. I did that for a pat on the head. That's what they work for, pat on the head, or a treat. Incredible things. Their dogs are hard working, without a doubt. My dog can't really do that much. I got to be honest. He is the sort of dog which hasn't really got a job. He's not that employable as a dog. He did go to dog school when he was younger, but he just came out with the basic skills of well, I can't think of any skills he's got really, my dog. Has he got any skills at all? Could I get him to do anything? I mean, but that's my fault though, isn't it? Because you know, I haven't trained him to do stuff. But the things I could train him to do, if I only knew those skills, I mean, I could get him to like empty the dishwasher, for example. That would be a good one. But I wouldn't want his like teeth grabbing at the plates I'm about to eat on. They just have to go back in the dishwasher, wouldn't they? But anyway, let's not use my dog as an example. But on the whole, dogs are more employable than cats. Cats are bloody useless when it comes to doing jobs. So the point there goes to a dog. Now the next one on the list is it's called won't kill you. That's the parameter. I've got more written down here. Won't kill you. So which one won't kill you? Well, it's the cat. The cat won't kill you. Right? Can it try? It can give you a nasty nip. It might give you a scratch. But dogs, of course, what we've done is we've basically taken a wolf, we've bred it, but in their heads they all think they're wolves. Right? The little dogs aren't a problem. Little dogs aren't a problem. But we've also bred some big dogs. Big nasty dogs with big mouths that you could put your whole head in, and then with jaws that are power enough to just bite in and basically burst your head open, rip your throat off. Right? I was chatting to this guy the other day, and I noticed he'd got a finger missing. You know that thing here. You know, he got the old finger missing, and I said, "How did that happen?" Expecting something you know, like, oh, you know, I was involved in a knife fight when I was young or something like that, or I was using heavy machinery. No, his pet dog bit his finger off. Have you ever heard of a cat ever biting an appendage off a human being? Dogs do it all the time. I have scars. I nearly lost a couple of fingers here, right? You know why I nearly lost a finger? Because my dog had got a pair of pants. Right? The dog had got some pants. And this was a big result for my dog. Oh, I've got some pants. So he took it off into the corner. Right? So I went up and said, Mojo, give me the pants. Mojo, give me the pants. Like we were told in dog school to do. To be authoritative. And so I'm doing that. He's not going to listen to that, is he? He doesn't care about my voice going like that. So he's sat there. So I then do the worst thing I could do. I thought, well, I'll try and lure him with a treat, which although is going to train him to get pants by rewarding him with a treat, at this moment in time, my first order desire is going to outweigh my second order desire, and I'm going to give him a treat. So I put the treat down, and now he's going like this. He's going, oh, treat, pants, pants. I know some blokes like this. Treat, pants, like this, backwards and forwards. If I go for, I know what my dad's going to do. If I go for those, if I go, what shall I do? Oh, but I want the treat. It's meaty. I want that meaty treat. The pants aren't that meaty, thank God. The pants aren't that meaty. The treat's meaty. I want the meaty treat. Oh, I'm going for it. So he goes for the treat, and as I do it, I lunge forward and grab the pants, and as he sees it with his lightning wolf reactions, he turns around and goes, which is dog for, no, you're not having those pants. And as he bit into my finger. The next thing, I'm up at the hospital, being x-rayed, going, oh, you don't want that dog tooth to go into your bones. Right, because a dog tooth, when it goes to the bones, poisons the bones. You will lose the finger. Really? Yeah. I didn't think that. I thought it was just a deep bite. No. The poisonous dog fang. Oh, God, what? They're dodgy dogs. Of course, it's the owner's fault if they do all this. No, it's not. They're wolves. They're wolves in your house. Anyway. That was number 6. So obviously cats are the ones that go. So if you want an animal that's not going to kill you, don't get a dog and don't get a boa constrictor. That is my advice. If you've got something from this channel, then that's what you've got today. Right, what's the next one? The next one is charisma. Right? Charisma. Think of Tom Jones. Tom Jones is a great singer, but Tom Jones has got charisma. He's going to crop up later on in a minute. Tom Jones he's got charisma. Now, which of the dogs and the cats have charisma? Well, I thought about this because it's very important. I thought, well, how many famous cats are there? Now, the only famous cats I could think of were cartoon cats. They weren't real cats. It was where somebody had tried to do a PR job on the cats by creating a cat like Sylvester the cat, maybe, or Felix the cat. And it's always something the cat, not Pepe Le Pew. Is Pepe Le Pew? He's not a cat, is he? What is Pepe Le Pew? Is he a cat? Oh, I don't know. I know he's not allowed anymore because of the Me Too movement. He got banned, didn't he? He got cancelled. Oh, Pepe. It's a shame, really. You know. But he was a little bit of a sort of, what's the word? You know, he was a bit of a sexual transgressor, wasn't he? He was a little bit of a, you know, predator. That's the word, predator, sexual predator, wasn't he, old Pepe? Of course, when I grew up, you know, having a sexual predator personified in what may be a cat, it didn't seem like a cat. But it's like Sylvester the cat. He never seemed like a cat to me. In fact, I'm sure Pepe Le Pew and Sylvester the cat were played by the same person. They were very similar. But famous real cats, now famous real dogs, it just goes on and on, doesn't it? Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, they're famous dogs, aren't they? Toto, another famous dog. Now, because I haven't prepared this well, that's about, oh, come on, you can think of another famous one. There's loads of famous dogs, loads of them. Loads of famous dogs, isn't there? And they're all different, aren't they? You think of Toto and then you think of Lassie, they're all completely different. I mean, you think of Lassie, God, that she was amazing, wasn't she? When you watch that film and she gets taken away, you know, and sort of imprisoned, and then she escapes, and then she's able, with her dog skills, like a homing pigeon, you know, to find their way, you know, all the way through Scotland, going swimming through that lake and all that bit, you know, and having all those adventures, meeting that bloke in the... have you ever seen the film Lassie, the proper 1940s Lassie film? Have you ever seen it? I watched it with my kids. I thought this will be a good one to watch, so you put it on. Another dog is killed by bandits. I think he's kicked to death in the film. Kicked to death. Lassie survives though. And she makes it all the way home to Roddick McDowall. Young Roddick McDowall is able to reunite with lovely Lassie. It's without doubt, dogs have charisma, don't they? Without doubt. My dog's got loads of charisma. I'll tell you how charismatic my dog is. Is that a kind fan of this channel did a pencil drawing of my dog as Sherlock Holmes. Do you want to see it? Wait there. Oh, wait there. It's in the background here, and I'm a long way away from the background. So this is the wonderful pencil drawing of my dog as Sherlock Holmes. Look at that beautiful pencil drawing. I'm going to hold this up for a long time. This is a wonderful thing, you see. Now, are you going to say that my dog is not charismatic? If he's not charismatic, why did he inspire this incredible artistic achievement? Look, he's got his magnifying glass, he's got his pipe with a little bit of smoke coming out. My dog doesn't smoke a pipe. He doesn't actually smoke a pipe. But he would if he could. You see, that's the point. My cat doesn't want to smoke a pipe because a cat's just a cat. A dog's different. You can imagine a dog smoking a pipe and investigating crimes and being able to solve them. You can imagine that because they're charismatic creatures, aren't they? I'm going to have to put this back in pride of place. This will always be in the back of my YouTube from now on. I will get it framed on the wall at some point when I get my act together. So without a doubt, charisma is definitely going to... it's going to go to... which one's it going to go to? The dogs. It's gone to the dogs, right. So the next one is autonomy, right? When you have kids, you want to be able to bring your kids up so they're autonomous, so they can get places on their own, they know how to look after themselves, you know, they can wash and clean and do all those things, so you can boot them out of your house when they get to the correct age. The worst thing, the biggest failure you can have with your children is to not bring them up in a way where they can go off and fend for themselves, so you're lumbered with them for the rest of time. Now with pets, of course, you're always lumbered with them for the rest of time, but in the cat's case, the cat can look after itself. I mean, I've described what a cat will do if it's owned by an old lady and she dies and the cat's stuck in the house. But if the cat gets outside, the cat's going to be able to fend for itself. It's going to be able to go out, you know. I think something like, I'm going to make something up now. I think 25% of the sustenance that an average cat has comes from animals it's hunted from outside. That's probably not true, I've just made it up. You know, so that's an incredible thing. You know, that a cat, if you stuck a cat out there, a cat will survive. A dog won't. Well, it might do, but if a dog does survive, it basically becomes a hobo. Cats, you never see hobo cats, but there's hobo dogs, isn't there? They always become dishevelled, don't they? They become dishevelled when they're out on their own, trying to look after themselves. They need to be in a pack. They need to be in a family. Dogs are useless at looking after themselves. They really are. And I think this goes back to the fact that, you know, cats, we invited cats into our homes because they can hunt. Whereas dogs, the skills that the average wolf has, I don't know whether... I mean, I know dogs think they're wolves, but they can't do anything wolfish, can they? They wouldn't last 5 minutes. I know my dog, the best day he thinks he could ever have would to be back in the forest with a pack of wolves going around doing wolf business. He would love that, but he wouldn't last 5 minutes with the wolves, right? He's a big baby. So in terms of autonomy, the point's definitely going to go to the old... cats in that case. Right, so the next one is amusing skills. Right? If you've got a pet, it should be able to entertain you, shouldn't it? It should be able to earn its keep by entertaining you. Now cats, they can entertain you, but they do it inadvertently. The cat's entertainment is based upon the cat's sort of arrogant offishness, isn't it? Cats think that they are something special. They think they deserve to be treated the way they do. They're to sit around basically lounging around on warm bits of the house and then have food which they meow at you, that's got to be there and then, you know, they ain't going to do anything for the food. You can't use food to train it, for example. It's like, give me some food, but do us a trick. Nah, I'm not doing it. Just give me some food. I don't want to give you food. No, don't, then kick me out. Kick me out, I'll go and look after myself. Go on. I don't care. If you want me, you want me. If you don't want me, then whatever. I ain't really bothered. Not really bothered. And if you carry on like this, I'll just turn my back. I'll just turn my back on you. That's what I'm going to do. That's a cat, isn't it, basically? That's the way cat is. But the trouble with cat, as the saying says, curiosity kills the cat, doesn't it? Because they're always nosy, aren't they? They're like, I don't really care anything about it. Don't really care what you do. You can do whatever you want. I don't care whether you live or die. Really, I'm too involved in my own life, in doing what I want. Oh, what's that there? It's a cupboard. I wonder what's in there. But I don't know whether I can get in there, can I? I don't know whether... I don't care. I'm going to try and get in there because I got to know. I've got to know what's in there. I don't want... Yeah, but you want to know, don't you? I don't want to know, really, because you know what happened last time I tried to squeeze into a little space? I can't resist it. I can't resist it. I'm going in. I don't care how stupid I look. Right, that aspect of the cat is very entertaining. Very entertaining. Right? And when their pomposity is punctured, you can't help but laugh. I can remember when I was a kid, we had this cat, and she was lounging around in a hot place, as they always do, right in front of our fire. This is back in the 70s when you had gas fires, you know. So it's lying in front of the fire. It's got the best place in the room. It's all cosy on the rug, you know, not going to do anything for anybody. And then he decides to go off and do, I don't know, going to go do his own business, maybe be curious around the house. So he's had enough lying down. So the cat stands up and he stretches out, stretches its feet out there. You know what cats are like, when they really rub it in. They're like, oh, I've had a brilliant sleep. What have you been doing at work? Have you been at work? Oh. And it's stretched out and its little tail went stretching out like this. And the tail went into the fire. And it set fire. The cat's fire. The tail exploded. Cat fur is like explosive. And the cat went shooting forward like a rocket across the room. We jumped up, obviously, and grabbed the cat and patted it down. It was quite terrifying that the cat might go up in flames. But it was amusing in a way. Dogs, however, dogs can do tricks. And I think this is an incredible thing. And I said my dog can't do jobs, but even my dog, with my rudimental dog training skills, can do a few tricks. So my dog he can sit, he can pat you, give you a high five if you ask him to do that. He can lie down if you ask him to do that. And the one trick he can do is he can roll over. Right? The only trouble with my dog is that sometimes when he gets annoyed because you're not doing what he wants to do, he starts doing rollovers. He'll then go, come on! Oh, and then he'll do a roll. I didn't even ask for a rollover, Mojo. Look, I just did a rollover. When my dog is doing tricks, he's annoyed. Other dogs I've seen, they're like, do you want me to do a trick? I'll do a trick for you. How about this? And they do something insane, and then they go, "What is that good?" And you go, "We'll have a treat." Yeah, I like that. I like that. I liked having a treat for that. I'll do another trick if you want. My dog's not like that. When you're trying to get him to do tricks, he'll go, "Right, I'll do a rollover." He does a rollover. "Oh, can you do it again, Mojo? Do it again." "No, I'm not doing it again. Come on, just give me the food. I want the food. Just give me the food. Do a rollover." Nah, and he starts to go into it. Then he's like, "Nah, oh no, I'm not going to. I'm not doing it for you. I'm not a performing monkey, you know." "No, you're a performing dog. That's the idea." But they have the capability of doing that. I think from amusing skills, although cats can be amusing because of their pomposity, I think the dog has a wider a palette of amusing skills. So I think without doubt, the superiorometer is going to give the point to the dogs. Right, so the last, which one's it? We are number 9. The next one is my personal preference. Now, I have a cat and I have a dog. Most of my life I didn't have a dog. I was a cat person, and a few years back I would have said unequivocally that I liked cats best. I felt that the people who liked dogs were these sort of weak, needy people that needed some idiot animal to think they're okay. Yeah, you good boy, are you? Oh, you love me, don't you? You love me. Oh, good boy, good boy. Oh, do you want to come and sit next to me? Oh, you sat next to me. What a good boy you are. You know, all that rubbish. And I thought it was just, whereas cats were liked by people that were like Jack Kerouac, wide-eyed loners on the road to hell. That's the way I saw it. And they could see in the cat. The cat's not going to give you anything. You can't expect anything from a cat. Right, the cat's just there as an embodiment of a quality of outsiderishness that we as human beings have, you know. That was obviously all nonsense. And so, quite late in life, quite recently, about 5 years ago, we got a dog, and it's the first dog we ever had. So I got this dog there. And I'd always been anti-dog, but I'm not going to be horrible to the old dog. So I've got this little, well, it wasn't old, he was a little puppy. So I got this puppy and I thought, well, we've got him home. What shall we do? I need to take him for a walk. That's what you do. So I put the lead on and I'm walking him around the thing, and he's not trained, so he's pulling on the lead. You know, come on, go faster, we're not going fast enough. I'm going to walk like this because it's better. You know, and they're doing all that dog thing that dogs do. So I'm pulling around like, oh, this is tedious. I thought we were just going to walk alongside. He does now. He's trained. I've trained him to walk properly. But back then, the early days, he didn't know. So he's doing all that. I'm just going to go this way. We're going this way. You know, and all the way around like that. And I go, oh, I just thought I'd just go for a nice walk. No, I didn't realise I was going to have to pull on this lead and all this stuff all the way around. So I get home after this experience. I'm going to do that every day. And halfway round, he'd gone to the toilet. And it's not like a cat, isn't it? You know, I'm walking around with this pocket full of little plastic bags, and then I have to put the plastic bag over my hand, and then I sort of have to grab it, and then I have to pull it out like this, and then get it, and it stinks, and then I've got to carry it. And the plastic that the bag's made out, you always feel that plastic isn't quite strong enough to contain the evil spirit of the dog do. I feel that even though I've got my hand outside the bag and I'm holding the bag, I feel that something's exuding from there into my hand, soiling my hand forever, right? And then I think once I've walked with this down the road and found a bin to put it in, this hand is now, it's been sullied by that experience, and I have to concentrate on that hand because I might forget, you know, and I might, you know, just that people do, you know, and you might lick your fingers, and then that evil permeating, you know, presence will go into your mouth, and then before you know it, you've ingested some sort of evil. All because you had to take the dog for it. The whole thing was, oh my God, we're going to have to do this every day. So I get home and I sit down, never had a dog before, and the dog does something new. He comes and sits down, he comes and sits at my feet. Well, I thought, that's a bit weird, was he sitting at my feet? So I get the old iPad out and I Google it, dog sitting at feet, what's that mean? And you know what it said? It said the dog's sitting at feet because he's decided he likes you, and he likes you so much that he is now protecting you. And my opinion of that little dog went up at that point. I can't help it. You know, maybe I'm deep down needy. I thought, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that, mate. No, don't worry, I'm protecting you now. Whatever happens to you, you are in my gang. You are now in my gang officially. You took me for a walk, you sorted out my dog poo, you had the evil presence on your hand, and now we're back home. You are now in my gang. And since then, we have been in each other's gang. And I think I'm the boss of that gang, and he thinks he's the boss of that gang. So, at that point, I became a doggy person. And within a few months, I was going around saying things like, you know, dogs are just people, but with all the bad stuff removed. I found myself saying stuff like this. But I have to remember that for so many years I was a cat person, and my cat Lola is a very nice little cat, and I love her as much as I love Mojo the dog. So I'm going to in terms of my personal preference, it's going to be half a point each. So we now have gone through all the parameters. Those of you who've been totting up already know the answers. But for those of you who don't, superiorometer, what is the result of this examination of who is best out of cats and dogs? Here we go. The sound. There we have it. They're just as good as each other. You knew it was going to happen. I wasn't going to come down on one side or the other, not on YouTube. No way. I'm not that stupid. Right? I might risk saying I don't like Steely Dan. I'll do that. I do like Steely Dan, but not that much. But I'm not gonna produce any sort of video that comes down on one side, cats or dogs. No way. No way. Especially with ladies watching. No way. You put my hat on now and mention the ladies. And I remember they're looking again. Ladies, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are a lady and you have enjoyed this video, please say you've liked the video. If you are a lady and you think I'm just an old sexist middle-aged man, then keep your opinions to yourself. I don't care. Right, we're at the end of the video, but we're not in the end of the video because I'm now quickly going to go through the 5 greatest songs about cats and then the 5 greatest songs about dogs. Shall we start with dogs first? So, at number 5, I have by the Bahamen from 2000, 23 years ago. I was quite surprised how long, this is nearly a quarter of a century ago. We have the incredible Who Let the Dogs Out. What a masterpiece of a song that is. Who Let the Dogs Out? Who let the dogs out? And then the songwriter does a very clever device, you know, which I think that probably comes from certain Duke Ellington, you know Duke Ellington, those records where you would have Bubba Myler, that his name, and he would have that thing on it, wah, 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 wah. You know, all that's the way they would colour the effect. And what the Bahamen do that's very clever, it's Who Let the Dogs Out, and then they take the who and they turn it into a bark. Who let the dogs out? Who, and with that rhythm, hoot, 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 hoot. Beautiful. That's the sound of the Caribbean embodied in a dog woof. Right, what's this song actually about? I tell you what Who Let the Dogs Out is about. I always thought it was about someone who's let dogs out, you know, so you've got a load of dogs and they're contained, and then suddenly the dogs are all out and they're all causing a rampage. Now, I never thought about the meaning of it until I was driving along once in the Black Country. Now, the Black Country is an area north of where I live, around Dudley, right? And Dudley, the Black Country, has a certain accent, which is a wonderful accent. And it has certain radio stations where people from the Black Country will ring up and chat. And at that point, a few years back, they'd had the Great Black Country tornado, which has gone down in history. There was a tornado that ripped through Dudley a few years back, and it was upsetting because, you know, certain historic piles of rubbish were disturbed when this tornado whipped through, and they were ringing people up and they were asking them what it was like. So the DJ was saying to the woman, "Did you see the tornado?" She went, "Oh, I saw the tornado. I did. I saw it." And the DJ said, "What was the tornado like?" And this woman went, "It was like a great big carrot." That stuck in my mind. And then they asked her, because of this incredible, beautiful pictorial vision that this listener was able to put into my mind, because I didn't know what this tornado, the Dudley tornado, looked like. And then it's like a carrot, it's like a great big carrot. And I thought that was wonderful. And because of that, the DJ then rewarded this listener by saying, "Well, I'll play any song you want to play." So you don't like radio digital. So what do you want us to play? And this woman said, "Can you play Release the Dogs?" Not Who Let the Dogs Out, Release the Dogs. Who Let the Dogs Out is a question. Release the Dogs is just is an order. But of course, even with that bad explanation, we know, because this song is so it's ingrained into our culture, isn't it? So what's this song about? I thought, it's not about releasing dogs, is it? It's basically, these blokes have gone down to this bar and they're basically, they're leering after women, and these women are turning around and they are calling them dogs as in leery men, and they are saying, who let the dogs out? That's what that song's about. 23 years ago, we're still talking about it. Right, what have I got at number 4? Oh, this is a killer song. Off Back in Black by AC/DC, there's a song called Giving the Dog a Bone, right? And I thought that was very apt, because right at the top of this video, I talked about how we made friends with the dogs because we gave them bones. Bones and dogs, they go together, don't they? A dog always appreciates being given a bone. And I think it's wonderful that AC/DC have written a song to commemorate how wonderful it is to give a dog a bone and how much it is appreciated by the dog community. I'm pretty sure that's what this song is about. Right. At number 3, I have Atomic Dog by George Clinton. Right. Originally I had Magical Dog by Jan Hammer. And I thought, it's not really about a dog, it's just called Magical Dog. And there's no such thing as a magical. So I scrubbed that off and I thought, I'll put Atomic Dog in its place by George Clinton. George Clinton, of course, the mastermind behind Parliament Funkadelic, one of the originators of funkiness. And dogs and funkiness go together, don't they? They go together. Think about Snoop Doggy Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg is the embodiment of dogginess within a funky context. Of course, Snoop Doggy Dogg, I believe, is the nephew of Bootsy Collins, the bass player of P-Funk, along with George Clinton. Now, in the 80s, funk goes away, doesn't it? It's like the 80s wasn't as funky a time as the 70s. And in that decade, George Clinton released this single, Atomic Dog, and it was a shout out for proper funk in the 80s. I felt Atomic Dog. I've got not much more to say about that. The next one on the list, on number 2, so we need the top spot here, is Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. Now, when you listen to the lyrics, Ron Plant seems to be singing about his mom and not a dog. He says, hey, hey, mama, the way you move, going to make it sweat, you're going to make it groove. So as obviously his mom is doing some sort of housework perhaps, and maybe vacuuming, because you get into a groove when you do vacuuming. So maybe your mom's vacuuming and Robert's, he's commented on his mom's ability to vacuum and the amount of effort they put in. It's a where the Black Dog comes from. Now, of course, Black Dog is the name Winston Churchill gave for his depression. When I was playing for Robert Plant, I can report that he did actually have a black dog. I wish I could tell you what the name of that dog was. In the 70s, when he had another black dog, and that black dog was called Strider, which is, of course, is the nickname for Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. Right? Is there enough facts about that? Can I move on now? Have I said enough about the song Black Dog? Right, and number 1, the greatest song about dogs. And it's probably the only time that this artist will get to number 1 on my channel. And I do love this artist, and I do think he's fantastic. It's Iggy Pop and the Stooges, and I Wanna Be Your Dog. What a song, right? He loves his dog so much, he wants to be a dog. And not only does he want to be a dog, he wants to be my dog. Can you imagine having Iggy Pop as a dog? Imagine having him in the house, and him doing tricks, and be tickling him and giving him a treat, then taking him for a walk, and then he sits down and defecates, and you have to, bag it up, and you get that thing on your hand. So that's my top 5. That's my top 5 songs about dogs. So anybody came to this video saying, well, it's not about music, Andy. I don't come here to listen to you, which are on about dogs and cats. You've got a top 5 out of it, and you're going to get another one now, because we're going to go through the top 5 greatest songs about cats. So at number 5, by Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. And I believe that Ted Nugent has also written quite a lot of songs about dogs as well. Ted Nugent seems to be an authority on cats and dogs. There's a lot of songs. Cat Scratch Fever is a song I enjoyed since I was a very young man and I first bought Axe Attack. It's on there, isn't it? Cat Scratch Fever. What a song. Now, what cat scratch fever is, I don't know. Of course, the claw. The claw of the cat contains poison, doesn't it? We all know this. If you get scratched by the cat, it's probably because, I mean, you worry about the dog, with the hand, but the cat is, you think it's clean, and if I do carry on like this, I'll undo the superiorometer's judgment, because you feel that the cat's clean, don't you? But in the end, they do have to bury their doings in the garden, and then they impregnate their nasty claws with that. I'll just call it that. Then claws are impregnated with that, and then you do something the cat doesn't like, and it's like that, isn't it? They do that sound like that, and they scratch you, and then when you scratch you think, oh, it's only a little scratch, but then it goes nasty, doesn't it? Because of that. And I've never had a fever from that, but I'm sure Ted Nugent, because he's an outdoor man, isn't he, with his rifles and his hunting and his right-wing attitude to life. He's out there, and so I'm pretty sure if you're out there in the cold and you've been scratched by a cat, you're going to get cat scratch fever. Right. At number 4, I have the opening song off side 2 of the Flying Teapot Radio Gnome trilogy by Gong, and it is I Am Your Pussy. What a song. I didn't want to put it on the list because I knew I'd have to say something about it, and I think it's best not to think. I don't know what this song's about. It's quite sinister, that song is, I Am Your Pussy by Gong. But it had to go on the list. And number 3, I have by The Cure, Love Cats. Right, the Cure aren't all doom and gloom and goth introspection. They also can make these lovely little jazz ditties. Love Cats, what a song that is. It's double bass. The Cure are so much more than you think they are. When you go back and you listen to their songs, they did so much. They're such a brilliant band. I'm never going to talk about them on my channel, but I do love them, and Love Cats is the embodiment of how wonderful and out there The Cure can be. Right, at number 2, we have a song I've never mentioned on the channel, but it's a seminal song for him. I'm being serious now. When I first discovered music, there was a number of songs that made me go, I love music. The first one was Pop Music by M. Right? Then a little later on, it was like Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick by Ian Dury. Then I discovered Motown and all that. But another song I was obsessed with was Call for Cats by Squeeze. I don't know why I like this song. I loved that English accent. It's almost like a precursor to English hip hop, that song is. It's there before even Blur with Part Life. This sort of Cockney storytelling, and it draws you in. A brilliant piece of songwriting. I'm serious. Call for Cats is one of the greatest songs ever written, as far as I'm concerned. Number 2. So what have I got at number 1? I mentioned him earlier. Tom Jones with What's New Pussycat. It's got to win, hasn't it? What's New Pussycat is a trite piece of fluff musically, but it's a wonderful trite piece of fluff written for the film of the same name, and it's basically Tom Jones talking to a cat and complimenting it on various facial features: the eyes, the ears, the nose, and the lips. And as I said earlier, if you remember, I said that if I was going to kiss either the dog or the cat, it would be the cat. I wouldn't want to do it, but if I had to, that's the way I would go. And it would be a fishy kiss, but Tom Jones doesn't, he doesn't mind this at all. Because at the end of that song, he said he wants to kiss the pussycat lips. And this wonderful piece of songwriting was created by one of the greatest songwriting teams in history, Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And it's a testament. But it's strange because when people champion the brilliance and they go listen to Alfie or The Look of Love, they never mention What's New Pussycat, do they? And yet here it is at the top of my chart. Right. This video is nearly an hour long. I've shot 2 videos today. They're both an hour long. One was very serious and one was very silly. At the end of the serious video, I put this hat on. And when I put this hat on, this hat conveys silliness. And I hope that it has conveyed enough silliness for this to be another light bit of fluff in my oeuvre in the same way as What's New Pussycat is in the oeuvre of Burt Bacharach. Not saying that my output here is as great as Burt Bacharach. Of course it is. It is, of course, you know. I am the Burt Bacharach of YouTube. Everyone knows this. Rick Beato knows it. Adam Neely knows it. They all know it. I am the Burt Bacharach of YouTube. You know, I'm the Don. Or the Burt. And so, within my oeuvre, within my, you know, deep metaphysical conversations about art and music and philosophy that I do here, in amongst the top 10, you know, who's the best bass player in prog videos, every now and then I have to produce a What's New Pussycat, a little bit of fluff. And that's what you've just had. It's an hour-long bit of fluff. And I hope you appreciated it. Right, I'm done. I am now going to go, and I will be back next week doing an epic series of videos. I am going to go, I've decided to try and create, and I've been creating it, a couple of killer ranking and essential top 10s and, you know, all that stuff I normally do that everyone likes. So I'm going to go back and do some of those. So one of the things I'm going to do is I am revisiting what set this channel up. I will be doing ranking the Mavish Orchestra albums again. This time I will be including the bonus disc of Between Nothingness and Eternity as a separate album, so that's in the mix. But I'm not doing it. I am at the moment working with my patrons with using different polls, and we're going to be shooting a video. It's I got over 100 patrons now, and they're going to choose. So this will be a much more objective list. I will just comment on it, and I will be commenting on it with the patrons. So if that's the sort of thing you want to get involved with, become a patron. There's the link down there. Go over and you can get on the channel and talk about the Mavish Doctrine. So I'm working on that video. I'm also going to come up with a 3-part video that looks at the 100 essential jazz rock albums. Right, and I'm going to do it in 3 parts. It will last a whole week. I will do 100 to 70. That's 31, isn't it? And then I will do 70 down to 40, and then the last video will be the that's not going to work, is it? It'd have to be 33. I can't have 33 on each one. What I might do is I might do the first 50 and then 25 and 25. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to rank it at the moment, so I might just have them there. I might just go through them. So then I can't do that because it's all going to be equally weighted. I don't know. I'm trying. You see my workings now. You see my workings. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and that will be a week's worth of videos. And hopefully I'll have the list. So if you are a jazz rock fan, you could watch those videos and go, I've got that one, I've got that one, I've got that one, oh, I haven't got that one, I'll check it out. And I've given it some thought. And I've put the list that I've got so far into my Patreon, and the patrons are going, how about swapping that one out for this? And a couple of them I have done because I thought they were right. And so I'm using the patrons to create content now, and they're paying me for it. It's bloody brilliant, you know. So if you want to become a patron, but if you don't want to do that, you want to support me, go to my PayPal tip jar and stick some money in, and that will help me to do all this stuff, keep me in new hats and stuff. I'm going to take that off now. Let's just throw it over there like that, or nonchalant at the end of the video. Like, subscribe, see you on the next one. And remember, cats and dogs, they're the same, like us all. You know, there's no such thing as better or worse. It's just different.